Now let's talk about a man we've all heard of, I dare say, but a lot of us may not know very much about, Swami Vivekananda. He was an Indian thought leader, reformer and spiritual guru. What you see on your screen is perhaps his most popular photo. This is how we remember him today. Swami Vivekananda is not ancient history. He was born in Calcutta in the year 1863. His name was Narendranath Datta. In college, he read both the Bhagavad Gita and David Hume. He had his share of schoolboy atheism. It is said that he went around asking spiritual leaders whether they'd seen God. He never got a satisfactory answer, and that was until Vivekananda met a priest named Ramakrishna, who then became his guru. When Sri Ramakrishna died in 1886, Vivekananda took an oath of monkhood. He followed the teachings of Vedanta. That's one of the 6 Hindu philosophies. Vedanta considers the Vedas as the ultimate source of information. It emphasizes on knowledge or jnana as opposed to sacrifice or karma. Vivekananda believed in inquiring about Brahma or the ultimate reality. He believed in moksha or liberation. He shunned religious superstition, idolatry, even the heavy-handedness of priests. Here's what he once said, and I'm quoting, "Kicking a football will take you closer to the divine than any amount of prayer." Interesting thought. Vivekananda's idea of religion or Hinduism was a combination of Eastern spirituality and Western material progress. He promoted women's education. He campaigned for equality and empowerment. He fought against child marriage. And while all of this may seem easy and only the right thing to do in the current Twitter generation, remember, this was a man campaigning against something that was considered a just social practice back in the 1880s. Vivekananda was a social reformer. He shot to fame in 1893. That was the year of the World Parliament of Religion, or what we now know as the Chicago Assembly. Swami Vivekananda was representing Hinduism. Instead of talking about prayers or rituals, he spoke about tolerance. He spoke about universal acceptance. He said Hinduism accepts all religions as true. He quoted the Gita. He recited hymns from boyhood. He spoke about India's cultural diversity. He criticized sectarianism and bigotry. Although his speech was quite short, it left the audience absolutely captivated. One newspaper described him as, quote-unquote, an orator by divine right and undoubtedly the greatest figure at the parliament. Vivekananda went on to deliver lectures across the United States. In many of them, he promoted yoga. He urged his followers to practice yoga. Till date, he remains the face of yoga in the Western world. This is what he said: through practice comes yoga, through yoga comes knowledge, through knowledge, love, and through love, bliss. He was also a voracious reader. It is said that when in Chicago, he would borrow large volumes of books from the library, and then he would return them the same day. The librarian once asked him why he was borrowing books if he did not bother reading them, and Vivekananda told the librarian apparently that he had finished reading all of them. He had his own definition of Hindu self-pride. He believed in cultural nationalism. He believed in self-sufficiency. He believed that through muscles of iron and nerves of steel, India would one day retain its lost glory and pride. This philosophy impressed and inspired many. Mahatma Gandhi credited Vivekananda with increasing his love for his country